What's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days. And it's been over 2 years since Ghostbusters was a thing. It's been over 2 years since the movie came out in cinemas and wowed no one. It's been over 2 years since the online war that took place in regards to the movie. Was it sexist of you to say that the film looked terrible? Was it misogynistic of you to say that it was unfunny drivel? Was it empowering of you to say I really liked Holtzman? I really liked Holtzman. She was amazing. She was just so good. Or was it stunning and brave of you to come out and say that this film, didn't ruin your childhood, but really got more women to join in STEM? If you've followed my channel for the last couple of years, you know that I've covered Ghostbusters intently, from the first time it was announced, to the first trailer, to all of the controversies surrounding the movie, the constant doubling down by Sony and Paul Feig and Melissa McCarthy and the rest of the cast, and the fact that the movie itself was a complete disaster, and its extended cut was even worse. I don't even know how that could be a thing, but it was. And here we are. Here we are, 2 years later, and Melissa McCarthy is still unable to get it. But before we take a look at all this, do me a favor, toss a like on the video. Let me know you guys want to see more content like this when it comes up. Because, I've always said Ghostbusters is the gift that simply just keeps on giving. So it says here that Melissa McCarthy believes that Ghostbusters backlash was fueled by sexism. Hollywood is still so distraught by the fact that it's a 2016 all-female reboot of Ghostbusters was a failure, that they're still talking about it over 2 years later. In an interview with Yahoo Entertainment while promoting her latest drama, Can You Ever Forgive Me?, actress Melissa McCarthy, who starred in the film, addressed what she believed was a sexist campaign to sink the film in theaters. Now, listen. I could go through and I could sit there and I could break down everything about the lead into the film that was completely the exact opposite of that. I could break down all of the nonsense in the film as to why people didn't like it. And I could even tell you guys that when I went to go see the preview screening of the movie, because I had talked so much trash about the film, I owed it to the movie to go and watch it, to give it a fair shake. I swear to God. Took my girlfriend to go see it. We got to the theater and I was hoping it was going to be good. I was wrong. My girlfriend, who's a huge Melissa McCarthy fan, walked out of the theater, took one look at me and said, "Can we get our money back?" Yeah. That tells you everything you need to know about Ghostbusters as a whole. But let's take a look here at this minute 12 interview clip from Yahoo with Melissa McCarthy, and what she has to say in order to get a full understanding of just how she views it as being sexist. So it says here, here we go.
Ghostbusters is a favorite film of mine and my 10-year-old son's.
Oh, thanks.
The backlash, as soon as that movie was announced, was very disheartening. And Paul Feig has said that he feels like it hurt the box office because people started thinking of it as a cause instead of a really fun summer movie, which it was. I mean, looking back now, what's your takeaway from all that?
Kind of jarring that in, this day and age, that is something that someone, like if you said, like, you're ruining my childhood. I remember that was a thing, which I thought, pretty sure you had a weird childhood. If a movie, 35 years later is ruining your childhood, don't blame us. Like, you've got your own issues. I just don't know why people are so afraid of women. It's fascinating to me. And I don't know how to explain it other than, as the mom of two daughters, like, I just always say, there you go, be you. Be you, don't back down.
Okay, so a couple things to unpack from that one there. For one, it wasn't a fun summer movie. It was, in fact, a cause. Now, the cause, right? The cause wasn't actually put on as a response to the backlash to the film. The cause was actually put on as a way to protect the film, to use it as a way to cause guilt and shame to get people to go and watch it. I'm not even making that up. I'm legitimately not even making that up. Back in March of 2016, the first teaser trailer dropped, right? And right off the bat, right off the bat, they got something wrong. It said literally in the first 5 seconds of the movie, 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved the city, right? To which case fans, true Ghostbuster fans, pointed out, well, for one, this is not meant to be a sequel. This is a reboot, a remake, if you will. And also, it was 3 scientists and Winston. Now, everyone loves Zedmore. Everyone loves Zedmore because he was the straight guy. He was the straight guy. He was the dude who he's like, look, I'll believe whatever you want me to believe as long as there's a steady paycheck. Like, he doesn't care. They're there to bust ghosts. They're literally exterminators. He understood the job. It's a working class comedy. That's why it works on so many levels. It worked. It's been like almost 35 years and the movie's still freaking perfect in many, many, many ways. So, geez. Anyway, so there's that. And then this movie decides that it wants to come on out and it wants to take nostalgia, pull it out of its ass, and shove it down your throat every 15 minutes. It stops the movie dead in its tracks to remind you you're watching a kind of a remake. Even with some of the same visual cues and some of the same acting and some of the same dialogue that we saw in the original movie, right? Some of the same stuff that didn't change. That was the biggest problem. Is this wasn't Ghostbusters. This was Ghostbusters as if like Asylum did the movie. Paul Feig is a subversive director, kind of like how Rian Johnson was a subversively handled your expectations with The Last Jedi. But with Ghostbusters, Paul Feig was like, you know what? I want to like remake this movie after I turned it down 3 times, but then Amy Pascal kind of begged me to do it. So I pitched her this really horrible script idea that was co-written by Kate Dippold, who went on to go write Snatched with Amy Schumer or whatever. And we pitched this really horrible movie idea complete with a dance sequence. And Amy Pascal was like, I love it. They did it. They went and they made it. It was bad. But then she goes on to say, and then back to this interview, because I could go off for forever, right? Even Ray William Johnson got in there. It was just like, or not Ray William Johnson, the guy who did the theme song. He gets in there and he was like, they didn't even talk to me about doing the movie. Ray William Johnson. Anyway, why she says on there, I don't know why people said you ruined our childhood. If anyone said it, it wasn't serious. No one looked at this movie and thought, you've ruined my childhood. No, they criticized it because of how bad it looked. And when it got criticized, instead of going like, well, maybe there's reasons here to be critical. Like Sony understood the trailer backlash on the first day, by the way, because the next day, the UK version came out, or the international trailer came out, and that actually changed it to where it said 30 years ago, 4 friends saved the city. Like, all right, that's a little bit on the better side. It's not 4 scientists because that's not canonically accurate. We're nerds. We know these things. It's what we do. Serious. Anyway, and that whole, why do people just not like women? Pull your head out of your ass, McCarthy. It's nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. The fact that you guys went back into your reshoots in April of 2016 and you added in that line, ain't no bitches gonna bust no ghosts, just as a way to kind of like throw a little shade back at the YouTube comments. I get that. It's funny. I mean, I get the joke, but it's like that showed you how you were responding to it at the time, that you weren't taking what people were saying to heart, that they didn't want a reboot. They wanted a sequel. You could even have an all-female cast, but just set it in the same universe. Have it be a passing the torch film. Have it be done correct, and no one would care. Your villain was god-awful. There was no lore there. He was an incel MGTOW. I mean, literally, he hated women. That was the whole point, right? Like, he was a bad villain that you did not in any way sympathize with or understand their motivations or goals. He was just so poorly done. And everything about the movie was just so mediocre. I mean, the best thing, look, here's the thing. I give Ghostbusters one credit. I appreciate the movie because it gave us Thor Ragnarok. Chris Hemsworth being able to act in comedy and have it work as well as it did is what brought us Thor Ragnarok and what gave us his character in Avengers Infinity War, which was a highlight of that film. It breathed new life into Thor, which is what made it work. And quite frankly, that is the only credit I will give Ghostbusters. But no Melissa McCarthy, no one out there hates women. No one out there hates you for being a woman for making this movie. The people who criticized it because the movie looked bad, and it ultimately was bad. It was a box office failure, not because the internet deemed it to be sexist. When I went to a preview screening, it was couples. I took my girlfriend to go see it. I thought she would like it. Right? Like, I went in there wanting to be wrong. I went in there wanting to like the movie. I was sitting there like, please be wrong. Please be wrong. Please, like, just make the trailers were bad. The fact that the studio head, the director, the actors were attacking men and attacking fans of the original. Maybe it was just them being stupid, but the movie will hold on its own. And, it didn't. It didn't. And feeding into that type of BS rhetoric, well, this men to say women. No, it's not men who hate women that made this movie tank. It's not the original title, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This is a bad movie, and you played into that so well that even 2 years later, you can't drop the act and go, we made a bad film. You still have to blame men. You still have to say, why do men hate women? I have 2 daughters. I don't even know. I have a daughter now. And I'll raise her on Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2. And if we show her Ghostbusters 2016 and she likes it, that's cool. I'm not going to sit there and go, no, bad. No, Madison, you can't watch this movie. It's got the women's in it. BS. I look forward to raising my daughter on watching films like Alien and Terminator, especially Terminator 2, right? Tomb Raider, the Resident Evil franchise, Underworld. Movies, franchises that are led by strong female characters, and not even that, women, strong people that she can identify with, that get to tell good stories, that are infinitely rewatchable, and that don't rely on gender politics and the culture war to try to put butts in seats out of shame and out of guilt after being protected by the movie bloggers who did it so terribly. Because that is why, by the way, Melissa, you went and you did your thing. That is why you still 2 years later are acting the way you're acting. It has everything to do with the fact that the movie bloggers defended this movie to time and back. They had your back. They were your shield. They were your white knights, writing articles decrying any commentary about it being sexist. When everyone else out there was like, hold on, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. This doesn't seem right. This seems kind of dumb. Because it was dumb. And you obviously haven't learned, which is unfortunate because I'm actually a pretty big fan. I am. I surprisingly am a big fan. I liked The Boss. I still need to see Life of the Party. I enjoyed the hell out of Mike and Molly, right? Like I was a big Mike and Molly fan. Go, you were great, and Go for that little bit you were in it, right? Didn't care for Bridesmaids or really The Heat, but Spy was fantastic. This new one here looks pretty good too. For a drama. I'm just saying, it's like, I'm a fan, longtime fan, not a sexist, telling you that movie was bad. And I've ranted on about this long enough. I apologize, guys. I get lost in Ghostbusters shit talking because it is the gift that keeps on giving. But anyway, if you guys made it this far, toss it a thumbs up, comment below, type in Ghostbusters so I know you made it, and leave your thoughts about this one. Do you think that misogyny is what killed the movie, or was it just a bad movie? I'm curious to know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Don't forget to subscribe, and peace out.